In the world of music, some stories take a long time to uncover, revealing secrets hidden for years. Brandon Howard's story is one of those, unfolding slowly and surrounded by legendary musicians. Before continuing with this video, please like and subscribe to our channel. It helps keep this channel running. Brandon Howard's life has always been a mystery. From his surprise appearance in interviews to the constant rumors about his family background, his journey has left many people curious. With his unique voice and amazing musical talent, Brandon has made a name for himself in the music industry. However, the gossip about his connection to one of the greatest pop stars, Michael Jackson, has often overshadowed his work. In one interview, Brandon was asked a question by Johanna Gerald that hinted at something big. This pushed him closer to the spotlight connected to Michael Jackson. For years, fans and media wondered if he was related to the king of pop. With every interview, performance, and new rumor, the whispers grew louder. But Brandon Howard's life isn't just about the rumors. His story as a person and an artist is just as interesting as the music he creates. He explained that he started singing at the age of 3 or 4. Brandon not only looks like Michael Jackson, but he also talks and sings like him. When the internet exploded with stories about Brandon being Michael Jackson's son, many found it hard not to believe. However, Michael never publicly said Brandon was his son. Who is Brandon Howard? Did Brandon just learn to talk and sing like Michael Jackson after realizing he looked like him? Some might think he's just a lookalike or doppelganger, like other impersonators, but people close to Michael believed otherwise. For example, Michael's friend Iran Carter once said Brandon looked more like Michael than Michael's own children, Paris, Prince, and BG. Others, like Akon, who worked with both Michael and Brandon, also said Brandon looked and sounded like Michael. To understand this story, we need to go back to the beginning. Michael Jackson was a global sensation, adored by fans who cried, fainted, and even did crazy things just to see him. Like many celebrities, Michael faced claims from women saying he fathered their children, even though he never met many of them. When the story of Brandon Howard came out, many dismissed it as just another wild rumor. Interestingly, Brandon was born in 1982, shortly before Michael released his iconic song, Billie Jean. The song's lyrics say, "Billie Jean is not my lover, she's just a girl who claims that I am the one, but the kid is not my son." Some wondered if the song was about Brandon, as he looked so much like Michael from a young age. Brandon spent his early years moving between the sunny streets of Los Angeles and the busy life in Chicago. He was born at the famous Cedars-Sinai Hospital in LA, tying his roots to two different cultural worlds. He went to school at Marva Collins Preparatory School in Chicago, which gave him a strong education. At the same time, the lively music scene of the West Coast inspired his love for music. These two influences gave Brandon a unique perspective on life. Even as a kid, he worked hard in school and was often one of the best students in his class. His motivation came not just from personal goals but also from wanting to make his family, known for their musical achievements, proud. Brandon grew up surrounded by music. It wasn't just something he listened to, it became a big part of his identity and his future career. Teachers saw his talent early and enrolled him in music programs. He would even sneak away to join choirs and rehearsals, spending hours improving his skills. For Brandon, music was never just a hobby, it was a serious dream of performing for big audiences. As Howard grew, his personal ambitions expanded beyond making his family proud. Music became a big part of his life while he was still in school. Teachers noticed his talent and enrolled him in music classes, and he spent hours practicing, even sneaking off to join choirs. This dedication helped him develop his musical skills early. Performing wasn't just a dream, it was his goal, and it drove him to work hard, imagining himself on stage performing for audiences worldwide. Dancing was also a huge part of his identity. It gave him purpose and inspired his vision for the future. As a kid, he and his friends would dance and sing at the local mall, turning everyday moments into performances. His love for music was influenced by artists like the Jacksons, Mickey Howard, Chaka Khan, and Howard Hewitt. Their songs became the soundtrack to his dreams. Movies also inspired him, with action stars like Sylvester Stallone and Arnold Schwarzenegger fueling his imagination. Before becoming a performer, he spent countless hours in studios writing songs for famous artists. He often slept on studio couches, working late nights to hone his craft. While others partied, he focused on creating music, building connections, and proving himself in the industry. Early on, payments for his work were small, sometimes just pizza and a little cash, but he kept going. Eventually, his efforts paid off with a big project for Epic Records and Sony, which featured the artist Genuine. This marked a turning point in his career, with luxury experiences like traveling and limousines highlighting his success. Brandon was influenced by legendary musicians, especially the Jackson family, Chaka Khan, and Howard Hewitt. These connections weren't random. The Jackson family played a big role in his musical growth, and music legends like his mother, Mickey Howard, introduced him to the highs and lows of being a musician. Mickey, an R&B and jazz icon, showed Brandon the challenges and rewards of the music world. Chaka Khan also influenced his music style. With such legendary figures in his life, Brandon's musical education went beyond just learning. It was something he experienced firsthand. By his teenage years, Brandon was already writing and producing music. Recording studios became his classrooms, and the greats became his teachers. Building a career. Before becoming a global performer, Brandon worked behind the scenes as a songwriter and producer. He spent countless hours in studios, often sleeping on couches, creating tracks for others. Though he wasn't making much money at first, his hard work and connections paid off. His big break came when he collaborated with Epic Records and Sony. One of his early successes was working on a song with Genuine, which helped him gain recognition. From that moment, Brandon began paving his own way in music, not just as a songwriter but as a performer. In an interview, Brandon said he was 7 or 8 years old when a Jackson family member told him Michael was his father. Brandon wasn't interested in suing Michael's estate, but people wondered why no one publicly confirmed he was Michael's son. The biggest drama came in 2014, when TMZ published an article titled, "Michael Jackson's Self-Proclaimed Long-Lost Son Going Public with DNA Evidence Thursday." The article claimed Brandon's mother met Michael in 1982, and Brandon planned to use DNA results to seek money from Michael's estate. This led to speculation that Brandon was only after Michael's fortune. In response, Brandon released a video clarifying the situation. 1. He didn't contact TMZ or release any stories. 2. He never claimed to be Michael Jackson's son. 3. He wasn't suing the Jackson estate and was financially independent. 4. He confirmed taking a DNA test but said it was unrelated to these rumors. Shortly after, Alki David, the founder of Filmon, claimed DNA tests proved Brandon and Michael were a match with 99.9% probability. The test allegedly used Michael's DNA from an orthodontic device purchased at an auction. However, TMZ later debunked the claims, revealing that the lab didn't exist, and the logo used in the DNA results was linked to a movie, Terminator Salvation. After this, many accused Brandon of imitating Michael to gain fame. A man named Augie Johnson also came forward, claiming he was Brandon's real father. Some rumors suggested Brandon might actually be Joe Jackson's son, making him Michael's brother, not his son. Despite rumors about his connection to Michael Jackson, Howard has worked hard to build his own identity, one song and lyric at a time. In the past, people struggled to handle responsibilities well. When others trusted them, they felt a strong need to meet those expectations while staying true to themselves. Howard emphasizes that his music and who he is as a person stand on their own. He's not trying to rely on anyone else's fame or legacy. However, navigating responsibility has always been challenging, shaped by ideas about duty from history. For example, during the Industrial Revolution, people faced rapid changes and had to adapt without losing their values. This struggle continues today, as balancing personal integrity with society's expectations remains difficult. Understanding the historical context of responsibility helps explain why people acted the way they did and how their obligations have evolved. Books like Huckleberry Finn by Mark Twain or Frankenstein by Mary Shelley show how the social norms of their time influenced their themes and language. For Howard, the most difficult part is dealing with the loss of those who mattered most to him. Their absence is a constant reminder of what's been lost, and their strength continues to inspire him. He recalls his mother's resilience during tough times and tries to face his own challenges with the same determination. Howard's music combines modern sounds with old-school vibes. Each song reflects both his heritage and his innovative ideas. His songs aren't just heard, they're felt, weaving together emotions and stories. While rumors about his connection to Michael Jackson persist, Howard channels the pressure into music that connects with listeners on a deep level. In the studio, Howard is known for his attention to detail and skill as a producer. He collaborates with artists from around the world, blending their talents into something unique. But his influence goes beyond music. He's a symbol of perseverance, balancing fame and privacy with grace. Recently, rumors spread about Howard, fueled by stories from TMZ. He wanted to set the record straight. First, he never contacted TMZ or any media outlet to share stories about himself. Second, he has never claimed to be Michael Jackson's son and wants to correct that false rumor. Third, he has no issues with the Jackson estate and is financially independent. Howard also addressed a recent DNA test, explaining that it was just a test and unrelated to the other rumors. He decided to step back from the public discussion, leaving the results for others to interpret. He thanked everyone for their interest in his story and promised to share more in the future when things calmed down. He emphasized again that the DNA test was unrelated to the rumors. He wanted everyone to hear the truth directly from him. This was his story, in his own words, and nothing else. Whatever the test results may be, he's ready to accept them and move forward, ensuring that the truth is clear to everyone.